Hi, I'm Johnna.
And I'm Aaliyah, and welcome to Lit and
Lit
Loud.
and loud.
That delay was crazy. The Wi-Fi is doing something. I
The
feel
delay
it.
is delaying.
Yes, Mama. Yes, Riverside. You fixed all
The
the
delay
problems.
is delaying, and the divas are praying.
Praying the episode actually works. Ugh. Hi, Deepa. Oh my God.
Hi, you're back in your house.
Guys, power AC. I will never take it for granted ever again. Like, I felt like a cave woman. Ooh, ooh, like.
Oh.
Literally how I felt that whole time. We all survived. All of my furry kiddos are good. We are sort of back to homeostasis. I think I was like using so much executive functioning and like just trying to stay positive for a good chunk of time, and I crashed real hard. So yesterday I was like less than human. I was not nice, and I wouldn't want to be around me. So feeling much better today. I got real sleep, and we are back on it. Yeah, how are you?
The divas are up.
The divas are so up right now.
I'm good. I had 3 cocktails post 30 years, and I've rolling on an all-day hangover, baby.
Mm-hmm.
On a Thursday, too. Like, I
wild.
walked into work this morning, and everyone's like, how are you? And I was like, I'm hungover, in all honesty. Like, I was still functioning. I looked like this. Like, I made it in the door.
Yeah.
But,
You did good.
yeah.
Did I feel great?
Yeah.
No.
No. Am I here? You bet. Yeah. I mean, I got the job done.
Yeah, you did. You always
You know?
do.
Always do.
What do you-
A woman that delivers.
Well, what are you reading?
I finished Dungeons and Drama by Kristy Boyce. Have you gotten in here yet?
Cute. Yes, I started it today.
It's just so cute. It's adorable.
Cute. It's cute.
Yeah. I want to, like, rip through them. Again, we're going to say this every episode for the next 4 episodes. We have so much reading to do.
So much reading to do. The prison.
In, like, yeah,
Of
yeah,
my own
we're like
making.
English class homework reading right now. Is giving me pause because I'm like, there's other things I would rather be reading. We know what they are. I don't need to talk about them. And
Don't get her started.
I'm like, don't get me started. And I'm like,
Nope,
am
do
I
it.
honoring my reading goal by doing this? And like, yes, because if I pushed all these aside and just like freeballed our interviews, I'd be like, why didn't you read that book? Like, you could have done so much better. So I'm
She's
staying locked
working.
in.
You're
I'm
working
a
now.
working girl.
It's not, yes, it is self-imposed, but also, like, this is part of our gig. This is part of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And things that we might not have read, like, this is still diversifying. We're still checking the boxes. I felt very similarly this week, too, and I was like, actually, I'm not doing a totally bad thing here. We're doing our due diligence.
Yes,
Well-read
100%.
women.
Well-read women make the book fair at Bel Air. So, yes, I just moved my whole computer. Sorry, guys, I'm real fidgety. And then I am also reading, because on top of trying to read these books and whatever, I grabbed some of my holds on Libby. So I have, like, things expiring that I absolutely have to read. So I am reading The Ending Writes Itself by Evelyn Clarke. And this is a book where all these authors get invited to what they think is a writing retreat, and they find out this legendary author died before finishing the last book in his 5-book series, and they are all competing to write the ending of this book, and they'll get $1 million and be listed as a co-author on it.
Oh.
And it feels very whodunit, even though this man's not, like, where I'm at in the book, he's not suspected of murder, but there's romance authors, there's an unpublished author, there's a science fiction author, there's like a thriller author, and they all have different takes and angles on it. So it's really cool because you're getting all their perspectives and you're seeing the reading process. One of the writers, like the crime writer, the thriller person, is a husband-wife duo, and we find out really quick that they're separated and she wants out, and he was like, I'll give you half of absolutely everything if you come on this writing retreat with me. So
Because he
it's
needs
just
her.
getting
Typical.
yeah. Oh, he does none of the work. He's been asleep the whole time while she's working. So, yes, it's very fun so
Period.
far. Very whodunit. It has kind of, like I said, there's not a murder, but it feels like a whodunit, which is really
Like
strange.
It gives like the
But
menu.
it feels a little cozy. Kind of that. I was going to say Golden Spoon, if you read that, which is like the
Yeah.
Great British Bake Off, whodunit. Very, like, Knives Out. Like, yes, I'm having
Love.
fun in there, for sure. And then on top of that, I'm also obviously reading the book we're covering. And that took up some serious brain space in this brain today because I was immersive reading it.
Hell yeah.
But my eyes couldn't figure out what words were on my screen. I was like, and I'm like listening, but my brain is so focused on trying to read, I can't hear. I was like short circuiting. I was in the trenches today.
Struggle girl hours. Oh my god. But you did that.
You know what?
Immersive reading
I did
hungover. Wow.
With a bagel,
Wow.
with a coffee. I got a fresh, crisp Dr. Doctor to put on it.
Oh.
Gabe got
Yeah.
some fried chicken
Ooh.
from the seafood place with the
seafood
potatoes.
place. With the potatoes. The thing with the wedgies. With the
Yeah.
wedgies. Oh, those are so good. Because those remind me of back in the day, KFC wedgies that were good.
Yeah,
the
when they
goodies.
were good.
The
Yeah,
goodies.
before they came out of the freezer. Yes, yes. So
Yes,
good.
yes.
And he gets all this chicken out and he's like, it's fresh out of the fryer. And I was like, this is exactly what I need. Because I also had a really shitty lunch, self-inflicted. And I looked at him and I pouted and I was like, you didn't get potatoes? And he's like, they're right there. I was like, oh, thank you. Pathetic
Real.
today. Whiny. What are you
Just
reading?
a baby. Oh gosh. Well, I love that. I am reading two things. I finished Fabulous Bodies, so I am in it. I know everything now. This is gonna be so fun because I went back and read the chapters we're covering today, just for, doing my due diligence to make sure I had all the points I wanted to talk about. And I really enjoy this book. It feels right. And I can't go into it, and we'll go into it in these episodes, but just know this was a 5-star read for me. And the other thing that I finished was Triple Sick by TJ Alexander. This came flying in. I am in the Libby trenches. I got all of my holds in within 5 days, and it's like, boom,
Suspend,
boom,
suspend,
boom.
suspend.
I think I have, because there's some that I've been waiting for, so I'm like, I'm not going to suspend that. I'm going to get that now. And just hope that I'm being the best reader I can be for the next 2 weeks. All three of those dungeons and drama, that whole trilogy. I have some thrillers in there. I have some shit from Pride. I have some rereads. I have Pounded by Produce. It's crazy in here.
It's crazy over there.
Oh my god, I saw fan art for Pounded by Produce. Oh my god.
Why didn't you send it to me?
I thought I did. No, I'll find it. I'll get it to you. I'll get
I
it
don't
to you.
think so.
It was,
Immediately
like, the
goes to my
human version.
DMs.
But yeah, so I have a ton. This came flying in, and I said, "Oh, I need a little break. I need a little queer break." So I read this. The description for it is: a jaded bartender is wooed by a charmingly quirky couple. In this fresh, sizzling, polyamorous rom-com set in the exclusive world of high-end cocktail bars. And all of those words together made me shiver. Tingle, in fact, actually.
Yeah.
But I loved this. And this was hilarious because I finished this and I woke up to the text that you had texted me. And it was very funny for me in my brain because I went to bed reading this in my little ear. It's hot. It's funny. The characters are lovable. Everyone is objectively the person you'd want to date. There's cocktails. There's found family. There's kind of like identity stuff too, which I think is fun. It's multi-layered, and it's honestly a great little rom-com. Happy ending. 10 out of 10. They do go through some like perils, but I think all of it's about communication. The whole thing is about communication.
Right.
And I love that in any type of romance. So the
Specifically that
miscommunication,
kind.
right? The miscommunication trope in it was like a lesson learned instead of it being like this big catastrophic thing. And it's very queer and very approachable. So, you know, if you want to listen to something queer and different, maybe this is for you. I feel like people like approach polyamory and like romance reading, but not like the queer kind. So I don't know. I think it was delightful and delicious.
It
and
sounds
I highly
lovely. Like everything in that, I'm like, this applies to me.
Yeah,
like,
get in there.
Get me in the high-end cocktail bar.
It sounds like TJ writes a lot of these like chef restaurant businessy type romances. There's one
chef.
called like Chef's Kiss or Chef something. That's another one of their books. I'll figure it out. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I thought it was cute. Chef's Kiss is the other one, and Chef's Choice is another one. What are you watching?
Gabe and I have started season 2 of The Four Seasons. Did you watch this? It's on Netflix. Tina Fey wrote it.
Mm-mm.
So it's a remake. It was a movie, and she has turned it into a TV show. So it was like Tina Fey and Steve Carell, and the cast was Coleman Domingo's in it. It's very good. So it's about season 1 synopsis. It's these 3 couples that are all great friends, and they travel together and hang out. And one of the couples gets a divorce. It like rocks the group, but it's told throughout the 4 seasons. So you get them for a couple days in spring, a couple days in summer, a couple days in the fall, and a couple days in the winter. So there's 8 episodes, and it's 2 episodes dedicated to each season and what they're all doing together. So throughout the course of this year, because you get like a full year of development, the divorce happens. The guy in the divorce meets someone new, and unfortunately he passes away at the end of the first season. But the new girlfriend finds out she's pregnant. So where we pick up in this season, she is like almost gonna fucking hilarious. She is like about to burst, and they're in a cabin in the Catskills, and it's hilarious. Coleman's in a gay couple in it, and it's absolutely lovely.
Yes.
The outfits in this show go so crazy. Every single episode, I am looking up what someone is wearing and remembering I can't afford it. So like that's really great. And it's just like, it is laugh out loud funny.
You know what? Actually,
this show hits so right, and it's so light.
Period. I'm so happy. I kind of want to watch that. Tina Fey, you said?
Yeah. And Steve Carell. Yeah. And Coleman Domingo.
And Coleman Domingo. You could do no
Coleman
wrong.
Domingo. Get in there. Yeah. Yeah. So I highly recommend that.
I feel like when I'm watching things, and so this happened to me recently. Someone in a show was wearing something I owned, and I was like, what? It was the Burbs. It was Kiki Palmer. She was wearing my cable knit, my very fancy cable knit sweater with the like pride flag and the collar and the wrists. It's iconic.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's from Target years ago, and I clocked that. And I was like, not me wearing what Kiki Palmer is wearing. It felt real good. I don't know
Kiki Palmer
why.
wearing what you were wearing.
And I saw once on like a Love Island, and the bitch pulled up in the Shein pants that I had.
Yeah, yeah.
She pulled up in them Shein vacation pants. I said, I know where those came from, sister. And she looked amazing in them, of course. Amazing.
You know, she got scammed for a boutique for them.
Oh, 100%. Paid $68.
Yeah. So yes, I recommend that show. It's lovely. I looked at someone, I liked the first season so much. I was like, that was such a fun watch. Yes, I recommend that, and we're like savoring it because it's only 8 half-hour episodes, so it's quick. So we're like, we sat down and ate dinner and watched through summer, and it was just what it is. Do you want to guess what I'm watching? Let's
go. Let's get into it. I got my notes here.
Okay.
I couldn't even type them.
We
have a lot.
We collectively are watching The Vampire Lestat, and we are going to discuss episode 5. I kept my notes really concise because, you know, I could go all day, but I shouldn't. The freaking diner scene.
I hate myself.
The freaking diner scene.
Bitch, okay. Cut the cameras. I gotta go down to my
poor
notes.
Baby boy. I'm just so caught up about it, and there's so many pieces of it. It's, first of all, how Louis is in Lestat's phone is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
But
dead.
him being so torn up and the state of mind that he is in that car and being so torn up, he's like, I don't know what's reality. When he was in there, cut the fuck up, and Lestat is like, he just has he has such a soft spot for Louis. He has such a soft spot. They are so toxic. But like these moments, this is what I love about them. He's like, of course,
tender.
Like, you couldn't message me when I got fake shot.
Right,
but sure.
right. I got shot in the street and you couldn't call me. I'm in the middle of recording. I'll be anywhere you need me to be. What's up? Like,
legit.
Yeah.
That first
I
off
love that.
Then he goes in there and tries to clock this bitch, being himself, and when she goes back at him, it gives Claudia in such a huge. This is my mom texting me being like, Claudia's alive. I'm like, no, it's not her. Like, that's how it
We're
feels.
in psychosis. Yeah.
We're all in psychosis with Louis. Like, that's how it felt. She feels a little too real, but when he's like, you have a heart murmur and a limp that she doesn't have, or whatever he says, I was like, he cannot face it. He is so like he cannot face his own shit.
He can't face it, and he literally sits down and telepathically communicates with her, which you cannot do with your fledgling. And then on top of that, he still has to convince himself, you have a heart murmur, you have a hip injury. This is
Welling
not
up.
Claudia. Welling up, putting his sunglasses back on. Yes. And
Cut
he
the
knows
fucking
the
cameras.
second he says, you know, he's been out there for an hour to her telepathically, and she turns and looks at the car, that is our cue.
Yes.
That the telepathic communication worked, and that is simply not her. And then for Lestat to leave the diner, be like, leave this man alone, please. And Lestat to leave the diner and him go, it's not her. And Louis to go, there's no spark in her eyes.
He's like, there's no spark in her eyes. I'm going to start, cut the cameras. That scene is too much. Too much.
That weaving directly fucking into that song, the scene, the ashes, the cutscene flashes, the piano playing, the lyrics to that song. I was so cut up.
Caught up. This whole episode, that's all I felt. Every turn. Every fucking turn.
But like, we're
Sick.
writing this episode coming off of episode 4 that was Lestat's like full psychotic break, where we have all these manic episodes happening, all the phone calls, Nikki running around like a lunatic, and then we show up here and we see him in like the most vulnerable place he has probably ever been.
Yes. Sick. Because he doesn't know what's happening inside of him. There's like so many layers to this, and we see it with his. I have to talk about this because it's so.
Yeah.
I don't know how to watch this show with fucking them making like the whole kissing scene with Gabriella. It comes out with like that side of things, like this devil and angel on the shoulder situation. Like I don't know what all of the metaphors are here, and I'm sure people that are smarter than me and more tuned in than me can actually connect this to. But like it feels like those sides of him pulling in each direction. And then, of course, we get all of this Akasha background, too, which you have more information on. But this is... I was telling John earlier, I was like, I need to read the books now. Because after that,
there's so
left
much.
out.
And... yeah. I think you can skip Interview with the Vampire. I'm going to say it. I think that you could maybe read the Vampire Lestat. I think you should read the Vampire Lestat and then Queen of the Damned. Because this, I've said it a million times, this season is going to hard stop right before Queen of the Damned. So there's a lot of discussion right now around the fact that it has not been renewed for season 4 and no announcement has been made. And I have been wondering if they are going to announce it at Comic-Con. And then today, they announced that they're doing a San Diego Comic-Con panel. Interview with the Vampire is, or Anne Rice is whatever. So everyone's going to be there except for Sam Reed because he's on stage. But there was a Screen Rant article. I have the receipts up. Do not fret. And in it, AMC's chief content author says the natural next books in the cycle that could continue the story would be Queen of the Damned and Tale of the Body Thief. And we have to figure out if that's the direction we want this to go to continue this story.
They're like, we're going to rewrite everything.
You're just fucking edging me, though. Like, you're going to renew this. This is outperforming every single number you had for it. Make it fucking happen, guys.
They will. It's the tease.
I know.
It's the excitement.
Well,
that's how you get it.
I'm getting fucking played.
For real.
It's me.
The only thing I have to say about Malloy and Armand currently is every time that Malloy calls him dad, it kills me. It makes me laugh so hard. Hey, dad. Their whole relationship is fucking sick. I can't even wrap my head around it. That's all I have to say.
Armand is out of his fucking mind right now.
Armand is... Armand... Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. He is... I just texted you his name.
Yeah, and I knew. His orange eye have an ass. I was just like, okay. The shift in the music, obviously we just talked about that, but this drop of this EP, so we went from getting a couple songs an episode to getting a full EP every episode. Shout out to AMC for putting so much of their pussy into writing this much music for this show. It's such an incredible thing to round out this show.
So
it is
good.
just
it's so dynamic.
It's so good. It's so good. And like, it's good music. It's listenable. It is good music. And did you listen to Big Bad Wolf after I text you? Because Lestat has a full crash out in it that is so fucking funny, and he yells, "I am not the vampire Fabio."
Crash out.
Crash out, and then he like full cut a cappella. He's like, "I would never say those things to Claudia on the train." Like, that song is written from a place of such deep trauma.
Oh, everything. It's everything.
Everything. But
everything.
He wasn't displaying it properly until Stained Glass Eyes happened, and he found
it's very mocking. Yeah. It's very like reclaiming in a way, like in the way that I think he can, because he can't do anything healthy.
Like he's trying to find a way to channel it, but isn't properly doing it until he makes that. And then we have that absolutely gorgeous scene at the end where, in a situation where he's too much, too emotional, like all these things that he is always made to feel like, his band decides to stay with him. And like, that is such a massive turning point. I did read a theory that was like, is Gabriella just manipulating all of them? But I don't think she is. And I think everyone's in, and I think they want to fucking do this. They've been alluding all season. They've made like 3 references to TC being a vampire throughout the show. So like, it only makes sense. And I think based on who was in the room, so it was Sam, Lestat, and Gabriella, I think they each turned someone. So I'm going to say that Lestat turns TC. Also, TC is very much in the Vampire Lestat book, but their whole proper name is Tough Cookie, and I think it's so funny that they just renamed the character TC.
TC. I love that. Tough Cookie. Cute. Yeah, that scene was everything to me. After the big boss Nikki scene where he's screaming in his ear too, I have to mention that. I literally put Sam Reed masterclass. I don't know the actor's name who plays Nikki, but the two of them.
Yeah.
It's like season 1 Louis
embodies
and Lestat.
Nikki in the most magical way, because Nikki is like manic, kooky, all these things, and I'd be gobbling that up.
Oh my god, that whole scene. It's just like, this is a very cinematic show. It leans so like visceral, and I just love it. This is like how I felt. I feel the hype again. I feel it. It's been years. Like,
as you
should. It is so good.
Do you have anything else in your notes?
Oh, Akasha, bitch. We have to talk about that fucking scene. Played by the incredible Sheila Team. First off, baby Lestat in this way is so funny. He's such a fucking
Scoop.
He's like, you got to put
ice cream, an automatic ice cream disher.
Ooh.
This little diva prancing around, this is very much not how it happened in the book, but I really loved seeing him like that. And also, Marius has this incredible shrine for them. There's like blooming flowers underground and all these things happening. And I was very much looking forward to seeing that. However, I fully accept what I did see.
Like deep, dark cave just in a giant room vibes. Yeah. Not fun and magical, not ethereal. Because, like, I feel like Akasha and Akil, I don't know how to say his name, their whole business is, like, very, like, godlike. So we have to, like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense for them to have, like, an altar, to have a presence there. But they're on these
and they're
giant
seated.
slabs.
They're not laying. They're, like, sitting down like Egyptian statues, kind of. Yeah.
Question for you. Akil's situation with, like, missing the finger and the foot.
So he's fully as alive as Akasha in the book. And then when Lestat wakes Akasha up, he tries to kill Lestat. And that's when Marius comes back and he saves Lestat from being killed by him.
I'm just imagining him in the air going, 3 days! Like, literally flailing, like, I've been up here for 3 days!
Literally.
Losing his mind. Oh, my gosh.
So yeah, that's very different from how it happens, but he ends up dead anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter when they kill him.
Just don't even bring him back, apparently. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what'll happen. We'll see Sunday.
Right. And Lestat and Marius's dynamic is different, significantly different. Marius pulls Lestat out of the ground, but Lestat spends him and Gabriella walk the Devil's Road together, and then Gabriella leaves him and Nikki dies, and that's why he buries himself underground. But when him and Gabriella are walking the Devil's Road together, he is leaving everywhere they go. They travel like all of Europe, Egypt, all over. And every place Lestat goes, he's writing notes for Marius trying to find him because he's convinced he's still alive. And he only knows about Marius through Armand. And he's like, I don't think this fucker's dead.
Oh.
So Marius finds Lestat because Lestat was looking for him in the book. So
they kind of just make it seem like he was found in the show. Like, Marius
So they were like,
him.
Akasha was calling for you and sent me to you. I get a lot of like book content in my feed now, and I'm like, did I completely? Because a lot of stuff, gothic floral like writing, I'm like, did I completely misinterpret this? But I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm that unreliable. You know.
Fair.
There's like a lot of things in here, and Lestat and Marius's relationship dynamic seems very different in the show than it did in the book, because in the book he is very like, Marius is excited to teach him and show him these things and share these things with him, but he also knows Lestat's a little fucker. Every time he interacts with Lestat, he always says, Lestat, you are the damnedest thing. He says it like over and over and over again, but like in the pet name way, because he knows he's like a little fuck. Yeah. And he's like, I keep telling you to do these things and you won't do them. Come on.
What have
like,
you done?
So he tells him when Lestat is staying at Marius's house, he has everyone underground, and he tells Lestat, like, do not go down there if I am not here, because he refers to them as those who must be kept. So he says, like, do not go down there because you could upset them or whatever. But Lestat like feels this call because Akasha is obsessed with Lestat. That is canon. We know that. That is fact in all formats. So she like calls him down, and she's unlocking doors and like doing all this crazy shit to like lure him down there and get him to feed from her.
Does she see him as this like a little jester? Like in the show, he's just like talking and she won't shut the fuck up, and she's like eating it. But it probably is just more stimulating than whatever Marius is applying. But I cannot see his fucking face. His face.
But she just like loves him and like everything he is and everything he stands for. Like they instantly have this connection. And she loves his, like, hyper-masculine energy, even though she's a certified #1, day one man-hater, which is,
you know. Love her.
Yeah. She's a real one. But, yes, she is just, like, instantly drawn to him. in a really great way. So some context that like I don't know if this is like is explicit, is the whole situation here is they are, Akasha and Enkiel are like the parents of all vampires, but they have a spirit. I'm building a house. They have a spirit, Amel, that has possessed both of them, and that is why they are like father and mother of all the vampires. They like kind of talk about it in the show. I can't even like separate all my thoughts at this point because they're all like just one. It's like two puzzles just shaken up together. Yes, they have just like been kept, but they're also like they burned alive. And when they burned, all the vampires burned, and that's why there's so few of them. I think Marius says that. Mm-hmm. And then he decided to like pull them inside and keep them safe. But it is theorized if they go, everyone goes, and that is why it is so important to keep them alive. The ones that must be kept. The mother and the father.
Right. And here Lestat is acting a fuck fool.
Scoop. But in the books, Marius has a TV in there for them because they are obsessed with new and more and all these things. And I'm pretty sure there's a scene in the book where she is watching Lestat's music video. She's just fucking obsessed with him.
So, okay. So this is like more information we get. So like,
based on everything we know, like there's the war coming. There's those that want the great conversion. There's those that don't. And it feels very much like there's those that want Akasha to wake up. There's those that don't. So I'm very curious to see how they play that.
Interesting. Well, it'll be good.
There's just so much information to pile together.
Yeah,
incredible.
that monologue. Ooh, I've seen it everywhere because everyone is gagged, rightfully so.
Yeah.
She just fucking ate. She said, I am the answer, baby. It is like the poetry of it. It's just so good. I have no notes. Riding that high and then dealing with the Armand shit right after was like
crazy.
I was like, get me out of here. I was like, all right, I guess that's it. Like,
so after I watched that episode, I went back and I was watching season 2 of Interview with the Vampire, and it was the San Francisco apartment scene where Armand grabs Daniel and tells him, rest.
Yeah.
Rest. And I'm like, oh, a theme. Like now that I've booked, like, it's like watching a completely different show now that I have all these episodes of Vampire Lestat under me and 3 books. Watching Interview with the Vampire, I'm like, oh, in this? It's like it's watching everything in so much more context.
Right.
It's like mind-blowing.
Right. And like season 2, the whole gag of season 2 was a game. It was like, will Daniel notice? Will he know it's me? Armand's like, will he know? Like, that's the whole game of the whole season. So it's very I mean, on their end of things, it's very interesting. Yeah, I'm at the point where I feel like I need to read the books, which will happen after all of my duties.
Yes. We'll see you in August.
See me in August. I'll be talking about this.
We're going to get to our July reading wrapped, and we're going to be like, TBR, Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. The Vampire Lestat by Anne Rice.
It will
be.
The
Queen of the Damned by Anne Rice.
Yes. 100%.
Tale of the Body Thief by Anne Rice.
And probably one of the DCCs by that time.
Are you watching anything else?
I am. The other thing that I'm deeply obsessed with is House of Dragons. I told you I'd have more information, and I do. I've watched all of episode 2 and almost all of 3. I have a little bit more. Big things, spoiler ahead. First off, give Emma Darcy her ducats. Give them their ducats. Give them their awards. They ate this season. Ate in a way that I knew they did, but this acting is transcending. When they look at the fucking screen and go, bring Aegon, the usurper, like screaming from the depths of like the grief of a mother in this, like, I'm just so amazed by people who can like act in this way and then be totally different human beings.
Can I speak on like acting? Because that scene, I know I talked about this like in a different episode too, but like the scene of Lestat in the booth in Louis when he's singing Big Bad Wolf and Louis like right here in his face, I'm like, how can a person not crack up while doing that?
Professionalism.
I couldn't do that.
It's tapping into the art.
Don't know her.
I don't know. Yeah, same. I'm too goofy for that. Yeah, I am more on the like riffing comedy side more than the serious dramatic stuff. I commend Emma Darcy and everything that they do. She, big spoiler, I guess. I don't know. This is again media that's been around for a really long time, but is now new in television form.
Teleform vision, baby.
She loses her son in a battle after he locks her up and says, "You can't go to battle. You have to be here to serve us." And he dies. And so his night guard is like, "Kill me." And she's like, this whole scene opens with this, and she's talking to him like, "What have you done?" She's like talking to him like he's still alive, which is insane. And this whole like crying fit, and everyone's just in the room. It's just so dark and icky. And like, this is like, Game of Thrones does really this, like, the franchise itself, it's like so unsettling at times. There's another scene later on in episode 3 where Alicent was about to be essayed, and it's like very terrifying. And I have a note here. I'm like, is it ever necessary to have a scene like that? No, in my humble opinion, but here it is. And they just do it so well and in a horrible way, and that's like a lot of like, that's how I felt about Game of Thrones in general. It's that like shock factor. So there's a piece of that, and they like to cut off heads and stuff too. So like there's that. But yeah, I'm just like stressed for Rhaenyra this whole season. A lot of this has like come to the boiling point. The one thing that's gagging me is Daemon. So Daemon, her uncle husband, he's very like present in this season and being like by her side. Episode 3, he kind of basically is the only one. They force their way into King's Landing, and he is like the only one like tearing people's asses up. They come with their dragons. They're like, "What's up?" Because there's no one there to protect the Greens. So yeah, it's a lot. She's grieving while all of this is happening, and then in the most hilarious way, in the middle of episode 3, she's getting on her garb to talk to the people because they have left this kingdom in such a disarray that she now has to clean up. So she's talking like to the wool lady, and she's talking to the blacksmith, and then she's talking to the butchers, and like there's so
I
many
thought you were gonna say black
problems.
lady. The wool lady and the black lady.
And like, so she's trying to like now fix all of this. They have a fucking rat problem in the castle. There's rats everywhere. It's just like a mess. It's in disarray. It's like a clear representation of how the Greens are currently handling everything. And so in this one scene, she's getting in her garb, and she's like with her lady maid, and she's like, she stops and she goes, "Fuck, I'm bleeding." So like, and then like, they don't have Tylenol. They don't have heating pads. This bitch is suffering while trying to repair a kingdom and like finish the job. She's trying to finish the situation here. So Homegirl is stressed. Everyone is yelling at her. I really want her to just be free. She just lost 2 kids. And it's just really upsetting. And yeah, everyone's pissing me off. I think the only reprieve I have on the green side is Helena. So she is now the queen because both of the kings have left in some capacity. So she is like there in King's Landing, and she's like the next in succession, and she's just this very docile, she's like an animal kind of person. She's very autistic, and like she's very docile, and she doesn't like to see anyone getting hurt, let alone animals. And she is just like hitting us with the most hilarious lines. She's like, she looks at Alicent, and she goes, "But you are the queen." She's like, "Bitch, no, I am not. You are now the queen." It's like, I don't want this.
It's
like,
not me.
But like the way she says it's almost like, "But you're a queen." So it's been gagging me all week thinking about it. But she's like, I don't want anyone harmed. It's just a hot mess. And so like when Rhaenyra comes and storms in, she has her. Alicent's only mission is to keep Helena safe at this point, and she has her and her kid, and like they're just in a room. And I'm just stressed. I haven't finished this episode. I guess there's more that happens.
And you were like, and then I hit pause and walked away.
Literally, I was like, well, I was eating my kava and I had to go record. Like that, I'm just trying to consume it all. But Yeah, Damon. Oh, the one thing that was really good. He finds Otto Hightower, who is Allison's dad, who kind of started this problem. This whole issue with the misunderstanding and who Aegon is and blah, 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 blah. It was
I need,
really
like, a
him.
paper map of all these people you're talking about.
I know, this
because
is like
I
nothing
have,
to you.
I have no point of reference for any of this. And I'm like, yes, mama.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm like,
Thank you
I
for
don't know
cheering me
who
on.
any of these fucking people are. I don't know where I am.
It's a mess. It's a mess. You could get
There's
in.
so many
The
strangers. I can't.
thing is, you.
It's
No, I'm
not
saying
for
like.
me.
I'm saying even if you wanted to get in, like if anyone wants to get in, like you can get in on season 1 of House of the Dragons, but you're still gonna be fucking confused. This lore, this world is so huge. Like I had to do so much research to understand what's happening.
Right. And that's kind of why I confidently dove into Night of the Seven Kingdoms. That is such a standalone. That was completely digestible because it's a prequel.
Yeah.
Without getting all this universe. And I'm not a world builder like that. That's just not. It's not my
It's
thing.
huge.
I did watch a few seasons of Game of Thrones, but I literally had to stop because it made me feel stupid. The new season would come on, and I'm like, "Who are you? Where are you from?
What
Why do
happened?
I know you? What do you do? Who are you fucking?" Like I was like, every time I'm like, I don't understand this, and I don't.
And there's 18
just a
different
girl.
plot lines. There's 18 different
Yeah.
plot lines. And this rings true too in House of Dragons, but like way more condensed. Because I mean, you're talking 8 seasons with really robust episodes every time. Like, and the world is insane. Like, so much happens in those 8 seasons, let alone the first fucking episode. So this is like a condensed version, but again, you still need so much context for like the ice and fire, the dance, the song. It's like the dance of the ice and fire or whatever is like this battle. So there's just a lot. Everyone's traumatized currently, but Damon brings Otto Hightower to Rhaenyra and basically is like, you need to kill him in front of these people to say you need to be. This is basically you saying I am the queen. You need to respect me. Like they won't respect you if you don't sit here and chop this man's head off. So and she is like literally actively grieving the death of her child. She's trying to figure all the shit that's now on her shoulders. She goes and she hits him and she misses. She swings and hits his back first. So then she has to take the sword out of his back and then cut his head off. But he says some crazy shit and it's like, it feels good. I'm like, it probably felt therapeutic. But also, like, this is the man that also she grew up, like, it was her father's right-hand man. He was his hand. So, like, he's, like, a part of her family in a way. And same way Allison was. I know this doesn't mean anything to you, but there's just so many levels to this relationship. And it's just, like, she's like, I don't think I can do this. And Damon's like, if you don't fucking do this, you look like a bitch in front of all these people. You don't look like you can rule a kingdom. Here you are walking in and thinking you could do. He's like...
And she's like, I fucking can't. You're right.
She's like, I can't. I'm on my period and my kid just died. What is wrong with you?
Right.
But... So I feel for Rhaenyra. That's the only thing like I feel during these episodes. There's so much happening, and like there's so much context you need, so you have to research so I know what happens. But it's how they kind of present it to me. And yeah, and like the old English, this is like a Game of Thrones thing, this whole franchise, and I'm really enjoying myself.
And you're going to suffer, but you're going to be happy about it.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
But I'm having a great time. Oh my God. All right. What are you obsessed with?
I am obsessed with 2 things. First of all, I am deeply obsessed with the existence of Smut, but also romance-only bookstores because they are such safe havens for women. And this kind of touches on like the conversation that we had about meeting our friends and La Petite Mort and the whole thing. And I have recently had a couple conversations with fellow Smut readers about how women are not taken seriously for reading Smut. And I think that just speaks to the void and the yearning that women deserve that they are not receiving. So,
Yep.
more Smut. Read more Smut. The other thing I am obsessed with, because I remembered I can just fucking block people, is whatever's going on Threads right now. I'm just like blowing up on Threads in a way that's like the most I've ever been perceived on the internet. And it's kind of making me cackle. And someone said something shitty to me today, and I literally went to their profile. Huge incel vibes out of a queer person too, which was really crazy. And I was like, I can
be
just
shocked.
block this person. I can just
Hey,
move on.
You
So
can.
I did. Yeah. So I'm going to keep posting absolutely fire hot takes from my Vampire Lestat fan account. I am at a level where I have been found and like I'm DMing with strangers about the show that want to talk about it, which is very MySpace.
Yes.
Like I had this
was
random
gonna
girl
say.
message me and be like, "Do you want to talk about this song?" I was like, "I do, thank you." So we're just like throwing theories back and forth. She's like, "I really don't have anyone to talk about this with." And I'm like, "I am the host. So come on down."
Come be a parasite, mama.
Yeah, so that's been really fun connecting with the audience. It's like how you listen to music and it feels like a really private experience. Then you go to a concert and you're like, "Oh my God, all my friends." It feels very much like
Yeah.
that, but it's being hosted via Threads.
Love.
And as someone who's been on Twitter for almost 20 years and doesn't really use the platform anymore, Threads is a safe haven.
Yeah, Twitter used to be so safe, and now it is whatever.
I know. But all the
Fucking
weirdos are over
right-wing.
there, and everyone's just posting good shit. I mean, not everyone. There's obviously nightmare people that I'm afraid of, but there's a lot of good content on there and a lot of people talking about what I'm talking about. And it feels like a social media that's really easy to find your people, find your audience, and like discuss like things. And I think it's because they don't utilize hashtags. They utilize like these group formats,
Yeah.
like
They
putting
took, like,
it
the
into a
best of Reddit.
topic.
Yeah, they took the best of Reddit. I'm not here to give any fucking social media platform probably owned by Meta props, but
Yeah, same.
I mean, Threads is definitely owned by Meta, but I'm saying like any type of social media props like that. But it is nice to have that platform in the way it currently functions. Hopefully, don't fuck it up.
Yeah. Like, let me talk to strangers about my niche interests that no one in my house wants to hear about anymore. I would love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
What are you obsessed with?
My first obsession is my book mail. Oh my god, let's not talk myself. La, 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 la. Oh my god, we gotta take our lingerie off. I was
Ooh,
keeping
take
it all
her
wrapped
panties off. Lucy
Keeping it
went to
together
open a
for-
muffin the other day in the car, and she did this, and I went, "Ooh, take her panties off." And Gabe's like, "Do not fucking say that."
My beautiful book came. Hold Me Like a Grudge, which I haven't finished because I've had so much homework. But I do love this book so hard. It's like a slow burn
That's turning
for me.
into homework.
Literally, it's about to. I'm back on like being able to read again for my pleasure on my Kindle. So I'm back on this. I got The Boys as my card.
Yes. That is such an epic pull.
I got a crazy pull. I did not get my art. They did write me a note on the receipt, which was very nice. Shout out to Always Here Bookstore. They said it'd be coming via letter. They must have ran out of the prints or something. But I respect them for letting me know in some capacity.
Very much same. Good news
got
from
my
my
little book
update
plate.
is my signed nameplate from Harley is being mailed to me.
Great. I'm so glad.
So shout out the New Romantics because they're going to make it right. They were like,
Love
we
you
have
for
no
that.
idea what happened. I'm like, me either. Send it over.
I'd love it. But yes, I got The Boys. This art is probably some of my favorite art next to like the loser art. I wonder if the artists are the same people because they give very similar vibes.
That art is some of the best character art I have ever seen.
Hands down. Hands down. This shit
Absolutely
so good.
incredible in a build out of so many characters.
Yes. Yes, all the cards that I'm seeing, I'm like, these eat. And I love having the visuals for these people. You and I are similar. Like, I can imagine some of people, like, I have a very, like, semi-fleshed out version, but when I get character art, it informs me so much of the story, and I just love it. I love it so much. But I love this book. I have not finished it. I'm, like, 50% of the way through. I really love this book. I just have no fucking time to sit and read. And other than when I have no power... But I am so happy to have a physical version of it. I'm becoming one of those people that needs trophies. I foresee myself having
And
a
it's
library.
like nice and matte. It feels
It's
good.
a good print. It's beautiful.
It's
so I got
beautiful.
that. I also got my Chuck Tingle. I ran to Barnes & Noble before we recorded. And she's so
Buckaroos.
pretty. Buckaroos, listen.
I really wish we were going to that signing.
Listen.
It makes
so
no
if-
sense to make it happen, but I'm like,
Bitch, hold on. Hold the phone.
oh, I saw it take its panties off. Is it a piano?
It's a piano holographic pink. Are you kidding? I'm gagged. I'm gagged. Consider me gay.
Chucky!
He does so well. I got
So
two
well.
hot bucks. The other book I'm going to get for myself because I've been wanting it is the paperback new release of Wayward Girls. It's this beautiful cover art, and so I'm going to buy it.
I have seen the updated art. It is gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. I have the first version here at the hardcover, and it feels right because it's like one of my all-timers, so I'm going to get that as well. I did not plan on this being a book buying month because I will be getting special editions next month, but it is what it is, and I'm just a girl, so I'm just a girl. The other thing I'm obsessed with in the same visit to get Fabulous Bodies, I saw this on the DCC table. It's from the chocolate company Maeve, and they made a Dirty Shirley chocolate bar, which is delicious. It's so
There's
cute.
Pop
I
Rocks
really
in
got.
it. She did
Pop
mouth
Rocks in it.
noises for the Dim and Quiet podcast.
I did. It's so cute. I love it. The art is really what gagged me because I'm legit going to take this and like frame it probably. It's so beautiful. Yeah, it looks like they do a lot of wonderful things too. So it felt good. And the chocolate is really yum. So that's what I have.
Love it.
Love it. Oh, it says
The
Maeve.
Divas
That's
are
what...
up.
We are so up. We are way up. Way far further up than we were earlier
Back
this
I
week.
would.
Yeah, please. Stay that way.
Let the divas stay up.
Shall we talk about this book?
Let's talk about this book.
We're going to jump into Fabulous Bodies by Chuck Tingle. We're in part 2 now. Trigger warnings at the top. We have self-harm, graphic violence, body horror. It's a lot, and it gets worse. So, buckle up.
Oh, it gets worse.
Take care of yourselves, and we will jump right in. Chapter 7.
Woo. Yeah. So, where we left you, we met our main character, Poppy, who is a body snatcher, and her favorite artist is Eddie Michaels, and she gets a once-in-a-lifetime call to go pick up his body after he dies in public. And... oh boy, does she. She is driving him to his destination, and he bursts out the back of the truck, and we find out that Eddie is immortal and does hell stuff.
Spooky, ooky hell stuff.
So he has like a persuasion over people around him, and specifically where we left, he has just instructed a skateboarder to jump off a roof with a skateboard in his mouth head first. So,
Welcome.
body horror. Thanks, Chuck. So, as we enter chapter 7, we get Poppy's reaction to witnessing this because Eddie is like giddy about it, and Poppy, being a normal person, is truly horrified, as she should be. And on top of this all happening, she is still handcuffed to the truck steering wheel. Just I would want to get out of that truck so bad.
Right.
Like,
'cause it's
and
not
she
just-
knows she can't run.
Right. It's not just the fact that she like cannot run physically. It's the mental part of it where she's like, I'm feeling all this, but there's nowhere to put it. All of my neural pathways are shut down.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying. It's like that total loss of autonomy thing. It's like very big right now with like obsession. It's that feeling. Ooh, I would count me out.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that it's like right around here where she describes it as she's like sees her mind as a maze and every single pathway is blocked off. Like she is so in her lane with what he is asking her to do that she can't see beyond that. And speaking of, in this moment, Eddie looks at her and says, "Calm down." And her body immediately agrees to it. And he goes, "You don't care about that man. You do not know that man." Like, just taking all autonomy and empathy out of her being. Yep. Okay. So Poppy says, on one hand, eliminating the weight of that excruciating emotional torment is nothing short of a miracle. But now that my care for the young skater has dissolved into nothing, it's impossible to ignore the fact that I've felt this kind of indifference before, drifting through the halls of a dozen different funeral homes and simmering just under the surface of every morbid back alley transaction. He's just a body now, not a person. I've never actually witnessed a brutal death like this, never been up close to see the light leave someone's eyes. Folks say you can watch the very instant this transition occurs, the moment when someone changes from living, breathing thing with thoughts and hopes and dreams to a mound of stiff flesh. But now I'm not so sure. In this case, it's a lot sloppier than I imagined. So instantly we get that moment where she was like, these people are just worm food. I don't give a shit what I'm doing. And now she's like, I'm reevaluating this, seeing the other side of it.
Yeah, yikes. What a visceral feeling, too. Even though Eddie is controlling that part of feeling for her in this moment, she's still, like, that's human instinct. That's something that you cannot control. So, yeah,
And
what a
she just
terrible
witnessed
position to
something
be
that
in.
changed her, like, moral compass.
Right.
Something that
Right.
she's never had an issue with before. She is like full pivot. And Eddie then takes off the handcuffs and tells her to be cool, which would wig me out of my fucking brain at this point. And he points back at the skater on the ground and tells her that it's her fault and she can't be trusted now because she unfortunately was the one that brought him into it by getting his attention. So obviously she's in an impossible situation, but this would work. I'd have Stockholm syndrome so quick. You kidding me?
Yeah,
I'd be
same.
like, you're right. I did this. It's my fault. I didn't
my
agree
fault.
with you.
I'm so sorry.
And Eddie tells her to not think of any getaway plans, and her brain builds more walls so she cannot think about how she could get out of this situation. And Poppy can still think about the situation, just nothing past it, which has to be crazy to be so compartmentalized in your own brain.
Right.
And when Eddie left the truck, he said, I'll be back in 15 minutes. So she kind of has pacing in her head that his powers dwindle after 15 minutes. And she knows that she failed the test. He knew that his powers would start to wane at this point and wanted to see if she could be trusted. And unfortunately, she couldn't.
This is when she starts collecting those little details, you know?
Yeah.
I love this. And rereading it, I was like, oh, she's so much smarter than I think that he gives her credit for. And I really, she starts puzzling things very quickly, quicker than I would. I'd be like, what the I would just be so like shocked.
I wouldn't be able to think past what was happening to me,
Right.
to try to navigate this.
But like, it seems like Poppy's energy, who she is, like this feels very true to her. The very little that we do know about her, she's not going to lie down and die. Like, she's going to actually put up some sort of fight. She has to understand it though. So that's like, she's playing it safe, but also very much so in this like traumatized state. I'd be worse off. That's all I'm going to say.
Same. Do not have the capacity.
Nope.
Eddie then unfolds his little paper, and Poppy asks Eddie if he's planning on killing her, and he replies the scariest thing of all, which is, that depends on what you mean by kill and what you mean by me. In reading further into this book, I'm like, okay.
He lays it out. He's like vague about it, but he's laying it out. By the time you get to the end, you're like, it makes so much sense. I mean, that's writing fiction for you. It's writing a story like this.
Yeah.
But still, it feels so good. I felt good in reading it.
Poppy hears him say that, and she has no idea what to do with this information, which the first time I read this, I didn't either. And now I'm like, oh, so that's really funny. And she just starts driving downtown at Eddie's request. And Eddie says that he's a little bit of a mess because he didn't have enough time to plan this. Eddie, no one feels bad for you.
What do you mean?
They arrive at their next destination, which is downtown Palm Springs, which this at night, the vibe, the whole thing,
God.
I was like, ooh, okay, diva.
Cinematic.
And and they head to Club Flamingo, and Eddie tells her to keep close and not draw attention again. Lock in, my diva. And Poppy tells him that she films content at Club Flamingo all the time, so it might be impossible for her to lie low. A diva that knows her worth. Eddie lets out a little laugh, and he goes, are you some kind of influencer? And you can immediately tell he has like deep disdain for an influencer.
Oh, an influencer.
Poppy goes, so what if I am? I have 216,000 followers. And Eddie shakes his head and says, your generation is doomed. Poppy says, my generation? You were in the closet for longer than I've been alive, old man.
She's clocking his shit.
Yes.
I love her.
Yeah, as she should. And Eddie halts and turns around to face Poppy and says, now is not the time to get into this, but since we're talking about it, we might as well talk about it. He's just like he's like a bridge troll.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, you want to talk about it? Let's
You
talk
wanna
about
know?
it.
Like, he's just like, he's very action oriented currently because he has to execute something that we'll learn later in a certain amount of time. He's like, I can't fill you in on all the details, but because he's like, it's purely, he's an entertainer. You'll see this come around multiple times, but he loves the schmooze of it all. He loves the drama of it all. So he's like, all right, sure, we'll have this conversation. He's like, I'll humor this, I suppose.
Right, do something, circus clown.
Da, da, da.
So Eddie asks her what she really does, and Poppy says, well, I do fashion. But Eddie presses, and she admits that she's a grave robber, which is kind of more accurate. That's what's paying the bills. And
Yep.
Eddie nods, and he's oddly satisfied when she finally admits this. And he goes, exactly. Well, guess what? I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to give you everything you ever dreamed of and then some. You'll be famous, not just for some bullshit social media page, but truly famous. All you have to do is stick with me and get through this evening, and I will take care of the rest. An actress? Maybe. A singer? The world is your oyster. No matter what happens tonight, I promise you this. We're going to get there together. You want to know why? And Poppy says, why? And he says, because I see something in you that I see in myself.
Ding, ding, ding,
Again,
ding, ding,
as
ding,
someone
ding.
who read the book,
Put that in your back pocket.
I'm trying not to be annoying about it, but now it all makes sense.
It's all making sense now. All the details are coming together.
And like any true kidnapper, he then apologizes for making fun of her for being an influencer because he'd never actually want to hurt her feelings.
He
That's
plays
our gremlin.
unhinged. He plays that switch. He like wants. There's like a people pleasing element to this, which is very interesting to me. Which again is we'll look back to that a little bit later. But like he really does it with Poppy because there's some sort of connection here, and we see that connection building. You can take the word connection very take it with a grain of salt.
However
currently.
you want it.
Yeah, however it feels right for you at the moment, but just know that that is actually something that's happening between the two of them.
So they walk towards the club, and someone immediately tells Eddie, nice costume. And as they approach the club, they realize his music's playing. And it isn't Eddie Michaels' memorial party. And people just think that Eddie's dressed as a zombie version of himself. This is like Dolly Parton showing up to the Dolly Parton lookalike contest. This is everything. They walk directly up to the door. The security guard looks at them, and Eddie instructs him to take them to the security room, and the guard immediately complies. The club is loud. Music video projections are moving and swirling across every surface in there at these crazy angles, and images of Eddie behind a piano while Dua Lipa dances under a torrential downpour of rain.
And it's because I think it's like his like mix with Dua Lipa, his like feature.
Yeah. Like the thought of them, like that's
It's
so
just this
funny.
Elton
And
John.
yes, Chuck dragging Dua Lipa into this is kind of everything, though.
It is really funny. Dula Beep.
So as they walk through the club, Poppy sees that all around Eddie, there's swirls of pink specks that are getting caught under the black light. And she says they drift through the air like neon dust. And she says, from here, Eddie looks like a real world pig pen from a Charlie Brown Christmas.
I want that to be me.
I
want there to be a
know.
little glitter and shine and glow. When
How
I
do we
walk.
get glitter clouds for Book Fair at Bel Air?
I don't know. Yeah, just walk around with one of those ones with the puff.
Yes. You're Diva. Oh, that was like a dog noise.
As not
Good
dog
for
people.
us. No. And all this is happening in the club, and Poppy is just looking around so jealous of all the people in the club, wishing that she could dance the night away instead of dealing with what's happening. And I don't know if I said dance the night away because it was in the book or because I said it, but that's a Dua Lipa joke.
That's a Dua Lipa joke.
I'm hip.
Intentional
I
or
saw the
not.
Barbie movie.
I was there. She was the mermaid.
Once again, we're in a situation where Poppy's listening to all these songs that she's loved for all these years, and instead of bringing her comfort and joy, they are putting her on edge and scaring her just like they were in the diner, as they should be.
Yeah.
This is, I'm sure they sound like nails on a chalkboard. And the next music video starts, and it opens up, and it's Eddie driving a car. And in her head, it clicks that Eddie can drive. So she's deeply wondering why she's been brought into all this, because she assumed he couldn't drive. So she needed to be a navigator.
And he lied.
Yeah.
He
like a
lied.
liar, like a kidnapper, like a dead man.
You know,
like a hell
dead
stuff
kidnapper,
guy.
hell guy. Yeah, but yeah, that was the other piece. Like, he did say, "Oh, girl, I lived a life of lavish. I don't know how to fucking drive." Liar. You lie.
Liar. And she's thinking to herself that this no longer feels random. It feels completely intentional that she was pulled for this. They travel through the whole club, and they make it to the back office, and Eddie tells the man that's sitting in there to be calm, and he is. This would be a crazy power to have. Like, if Gabe had this, I would just be like, all the time, because I am so high strung as a human.
Yeah.
I am just anxious about everything.
Calm.
And I'd be like, but you bringing up obsession, like, this is so obsession. This is it. This is
mind control.
This is that mind control, that mind block, the loss of autonomy, the whole thing. That's a beautiful connection for something that is like currently so in the media. The security guard sitting at the desk calms down. The security guard that leads them in sits down on the couch, and Eddie tells them to delete all the footage for the day and turn off the cameras, and they do it without hesitation. Once all the footage is deleted, Eddie asks where the club owner, Henry Morton, is, and he knows that he has an apartment over the club, and the security guards confirm that he is up there. Do you imagine living over a nightclub?
Nightmare.
Nightmare. Eddie tosses the guard a pair of scissors and tells the guards that they have to kill each other, and he requests that they leave behind something interesting.
The showmanship.
The theatrics. Right. Everything.
Yeah. He's like, he's so, and it, like, that's what it is to him. He's so blasé about it too. And she's like, what are you doing? Stop making people kill themselves. Like,
right.
She cannot turn it off, which, I mean, I wouldn't either.
Because she, like, exists in the real world, and this is absolutely bonkers, which is completely fair. This would cripple me mentally. This would ruin my life.
I'd be done. Same with Lucky Day. I would be worse off.
I'd be taking advantage of that fund and eating the ramen.
Yeah.
Just like Aaliyah said, Poppy says, please stop, they're people. And Eddie says, when you've been around as long as I have, you start to understand what people really means. There are a few beautiful, transcendent diamonds in the rough, but most folks don't amount to much. And he calls her sport endlessly throughout this whole thing in the weirdest way.
Hate it.
Same.
Oh, sport. It's like
Same.
It's like, it feels like a boy thing, like a man thing. Old sport.
Isn't
it's like Gatsby.
Don't they do that? I was gonna say Gatsby. Old sport.
I don't know where that came from. Sorry.
You know, the man voice. And Eddie continues, the least they can do is provide a little entertainment on the way out. Mm-hmm. This man's a freak. So the security guards immediately comply. They start cutting each other up. And Poppy is absolutely horrified and just asks them to get it over with. This poor girl.
Traumatized.
Yep. So Eddie says, all right, time out. Freeze. Everyone stop for a minute. And he continues, I don't want to do this because I've got more important things to focus on tonight. But I've got to say, this right here is the problem with your generation. Do you think I became the world's greatest entertainer just by telling people to get it over with? Live your life with a little fucking pizzazz, sport. If these men are gonna die, do you really think it's fair for them to kick it off in a way that's boring? To die a boring death is hell. It's literal hell. When I was coming up, People understood the value of artistry. They appreciated quality entertainment. Do you have any idea what it was like to take direction from the bard himself in the fucking round and then live long enough to witness the rise of TikTok?
Crazy delivery.
There's so much more to life than how many likes you can get. Fame, real fame, is a gift exchange. It's an artist trading with the audience. It's an experience swapped for precious time. These days, no one seems to care about the experience. They just expect everyone else's time for doing absolutely fucking nothing. This is fucking Lestat hours. May I
Diva
add.
behavior.
Don't want to learn another TikTok dance. This is it. This is diva behavior, but this is someone who has been participating in art for hundreds of years. And cannot process how dumbed down society has become.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tea.
Ooh. Ooh.
And is he right? Kind of. But does he need to talk about this
Kinda.
in the frame of killing two people? He just,
No.
It's like, it's not the theater piece of it. Like, obviously he's some sort of demonic thing, but he, like, it's the exchange. He feels like he's owed something in this art form. So, like, he's trying to create a same way. This is Lestat. Everything ties back to him.
I know.
Same way that he's trying to create his own art, being so terrible at it. Like, he has no outlet anymore because it is extended so far beyond its...
We're sweating.
It all ties back to him. Sorry. Not to do that to this book.
But this is that same energy. Do you have any idea what it's like to be creating art and watch the precipice of all these beautiful things happen and then live to see TikTok come around?
Well, yeah, it's like it we can have it in our own small ways. We see it exactly the same way. Watching TikTok stars do absolutely nothing but like do a little shimmy shake and have such
you're
a
an
following
influencer?
and be an influencer for brands and stuff, but then you have people actually creating incredible art and can't get eyes on it. Like it's a commentary I think of a lot of people can align with, not in this demonic ass way though. Promise you that.
After all that, Poppy says that she understands what he's saying, but only at his request. And Eddie hugs her and tells her to face the wall and ignore what's going on in the room. He tells the guards to continue and impress him, and he heads upstairs. Poppy is facing the wall. Lestat. Him telling that girl to face the wall before that huge fight happened.
Your brain rot.
I'm in psychosis. I'm so sorry.
She's dragging me in there with her too.
Ooh.
We're in the padded room together.
We're just in one straight jacket. No, we're in one with two neckles.
The visual of us in one straight jacket is crazy. Oh
Dead.
my god.
So, Poppy's facing the wall. She can't move, but she hears everything going on behind her. And she uses this time to take inventory of what she knows to be true. She's in danger. She cannot let Marlo grow up without a mother. And the guards behind her, as she's coming to these realizations, stop making noise. Which is a bad sign. And
this is so descriptive. This whole section of like what she's describing, she's hearing. She's like, I know what's happening, but I have no feeling towards it. And like Eddie's sparing her in that way because he says later she's a bleeding heart. Like this is again that connection that they have, this tether. And yeah, it is. This is like where Chuck's writing comes through. Like obviously we didn't put a ton here, but it is nasty to say the least.
Later on, I was like, you got to read the book for the body horror.
Yeah.
I have no interest in summarizing this. Like, it's fine for me to read, but it gets nasty.
It gets
I was
nasty.
like, I don't feel like I need to put that in there.
And I feel like reading body horror I can do so much better than watching. I can't watch shit. That sticks with me, but like reading it, I'm like, okay, I can separate that. That's book. Yeah, it's very descriptive to say the least.
Right. We'd get like our video pulled for talking about that.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I don't know
We
how
get kicked off YouTube. So Eddie enters the room and he says he's impressed with the guard's effort and looks at Poppy and says, let's go. And all of a sudden she can move again. And she says, my autonomy comes and goes around Eddie Michaels, but this moment is an important reminder of the range and variation within these morsels of free will. Sometimes I'm completely frozen in place. Other times I'm simply instructed to drive or follow vague commands with other room for interpretation. There's variation here, and variation leads to mistakes. Now all I have to do is find the right moment.
She is
thinking on a level we don't know about.
Never. I would never be able to kind of start conceptualizing what I can do here, especially being under some sort of mind control too. There's so many layers. I'd be like, take my mind. I will not be able to save this.
Yeah, I don't need to think that bad.
Get it out. Yeah. So she's really pulling out some stops that I absolutely wouldn't. By just like recognizing there's a separation here, like that feels so. That feels like the third act in this. That feels like, oh, the pieces are coming together for me. I need to act. This happens in a scene kind of thing. But we watch her do this from the jump. I would say this is pretty much a good point. That she's, from the beginning, from the first kind of traumatic experience with the skateboarder, she starts piecing it together. But this feels like monumentous. Hey, there's an opportunity for me to weasel something here because it's not consistent. And he can't be consistent. So, interesting.
I don't know if I'd accept my fate so easy.
Oh.
Like, I'd be like, okay, this is my truth.
Zombie
100%.
apocalypse.
I'm dead.
I'm not surviving.
Just kill me. No, I don't have a single skill. Yeah. I'm bringing the group down. And I probably won't be funny because I'll be depressed, so get rid of me.
Just get out. Yeah, just throw me out back. I'm going to be no use to anyone.
Yeah. Shot. So that is where we leave chapter 7, and we get into chapter 8, and they're back in the truck, and Eddie asks Poppy if she's mad, and she obviously is, and she obviously should be, and he looks at her and says, you are not upset about the death you've seen tonight. And suddenly, she magically isn't. She's calm, and the scent of popcorn rolls through the cab again. Chuck, God love ya.
The popcorn. Wait, can I just say something? Every time I see the popcorn, I know it's supposed to be like movie theater scenery. Like, ooh, what is this smell? I just think of popcorn feet, and that's... I don't know what to do with that. I
think of Gabe coming home from the club at 11 o'clock at night and turning on the air popper while I'm asleep. Like...
He's just popping corn. You better make me some.
Popping corn at 11 p.m. My teeth are brushed. I'm in bed. I'm like...
I'll have some.
Okay.
Fine.
Pour me a bowl.
Salt it up.
Right. And pepper. So they drive along, and Eddie keeps up with the instructions for her, and he just reminds her, don't run away. Don't be upset. They have 2 stops left, and Eddie says that over and over. Poppy confesses that she doesn't think that he's going to keep her alive, which I wouldn't either, because she's not going to live to tell the tale. That'd be crazy.
No. She's watching all these people die like that, too.
Right, and she's also still confused as to why she's even driving the truck, because Eddie can drive. So they get to chatting in the truck, and Eddie says, a lot of people are motivated by hate and violence and greed. I can understand calling those people monsters. They are monsters. That's not me. I just want to entertain. Is that so bad? A man with a driving light.
Same.
And Poppy says, there's so much more to life than entertaining. And he grins and says, I'm going to have to disagree with you there, sport. Food, water, shelter. That's how we survive. Art is the why. And this is a theme that circles back.
Yeah.
But
again,
like,
beautifully
you want
placed.
Me to bring up Lestat?
Stop.
Lestat. The name unuttered on our podcast for 4 minutes.
We need a counter. We need to have how many minutes since Lestat has been mentioned. That bitch is at 0 always.
0, yeah. It's been 0 minutes since the last Lestat mention.
We haven't stopped. See us in a couple months.
And after hearing him say that art is the why, Poppy thinks that love is more important than all of this. And she's thinking about Marla, which is her why and her guiding light through this whole thing, because she wants to get home to her kid. And they approach a gated community, and Eddie tells Poppy, you don't care if this guard dies. So now he's like full on getting ahead of anything that she can feel. And they approach the guard, and she asks, "Who are you here to see?" And Eddie replies, "You should shoot yourself in the face." I am like, no. Like, I could not imagine being there. Like, that second he said that, I'm like, please, no. Please do not do this. These are fictional characters, and I'm stressed out. Okay. And Poppy says, "A terrible realization crosses my mind. But as Eddie commanded, I'm not concerned for the security guard's life or safety. I'm just deeply annoyed that I might get some blood or brains splattered across my shirt." And that's such a peek in at what her mind is like as he controls it. Like, right. I don't want to be covered in this person's blood. For the first time, we see Eddie's powers not work, and the guard tells him to get out of the car. And Eddie panics. And he realizes that there are tissues and Dayquil in on the desk, and that the guard is sick.
That is like our first. I felt like, I was like, I get it. Yeah, this was like the first clue in. He was like, "Fuck, you're sick," and like, he has been like straight on. He's been so confident. He's just been like, "I'm doing my thing," and this is the first time Poppy sees him be like, "Ooh, shit. Okay, hold on." Yeah. And Eddie, once realizing this, looks at Poppy and says, "Get the fuck out of here." And Poppy, because she's been thinking ahead this whole time, sees this as her opportunity. She tells the guard to not shoot her because she's actively being kidnapped, opens the door to the truck, and runs. Because, like she said, there's variations which can lead to interpretation. So she's getting the fuck out of here. Mm-hmm. I love it. Eddie gets out of the car and tries to tell Poppy to stop, but the security guard's dog bites him before he can get the whole word out. That dog saved her ass. This doesn't stop him, though. He doesn't seem to be able to feel pain. He's super fast. Like, how he's described, it's like the obsession skitters. Like, how he moves is so gross. Unsettling. Anything that, like, is hurt that bad and moves fast, no. Right.
And then I put a little note in here. "Girl, you shot this man and nothing happened. What did you expect?"
That. Like, but she's so much of him is unknown. She's piecing it together as everything happens. Like, and she's doing again.
Hardly has control of her brain. Poppy runs to a nearby motel, which is the Trixie Motel in my heart. That is the only truth I shall be accepting. Thank you. It is called the T. Like there's a big T in the lobby and all this stuff. I'm like, it's close enough. Welcome back to Trixie Motel. And she tells the guy at the front desk to call the police as she hears 2 gunshots fired in the distance. I'd be so fucking scared.
I said, what are the police gonna do for you?
Right. After she hears the gunshots, Poppy looks outside, and Eddie is lurching towards the security guard. Even though he's been shot and attacked by this dog, nothing is slowing him down. The dog limps away, injured, and Eddie tackles the guard, breaks her wrist, and kills her. And through all of this, he is completely unaffected.
In the worst way,
I'd be ill. I would be
the way he kills
ill.
her. I would be like, all right, finish me. Like, I would just accept my fate, because this one's one of the goriest ones. I think the description is very gory. She has now run away from him and is trying to hide. This is the worst. This chapter had me goosed.
Same, and so stressed out.
Yeah.
So deeply stressed out. After seeing that happen, Poppy tells the front desk worker at the hotel to just get the hell out and save himself. And she looks over to find an exit and sees that there is a TV on. And she can see that there is a breaking story banner that stretches across the bottom of the TV. The newscaster is saying this is the latest in a series of bizarre homicides being carried out across Palm Springs. A trio of suspicious deaths join one earlier victim who was also discovered entirely flayed, as well as a handful of ongoing disappearances. Authorities are urging anyone with information about this unfolding situation to call the number below. And I feel like that had to be so scary to see, because
oh my God,
this whole time she's like, is this really happening? Am I hallucinating? Could this be happening? And to see that on the news, to see that play out in that way has to be horrifying.
Yes, because her first off, her brain is all jumbled. And then second off, it's like, I'm seeing things that are literally, I cannot comprehend this happening. So this confirming it, she's just in like the worst spot ever, and I do not envy her in any way.
Me either. And Poppy thinks to herself, what the fuck does the reporter mean by people are being flayed? Which, same, honestly. She's wondering if that's what Eddie's doing while he leaves Poppy behind.
Yes.
Plot twist, it is.
Surprise.
Is he skinning people? And then I have hashtag it's private. His ritual is private, baby.
You don't need to know.
And she looks out the window again when she looks up from the TV and sees that Eddie's nearing the lobby, but remembers that he said to her, get the fuck out of here. So she slips out the door where he can't see her anymore, and she takes off. And she's running through the courtyard of this motel, admiring the pool, and thinking to herself how perfect it would be for influencers. Our girl
Real.
never stops working.
That's real. Now I'm on my. I'm like, that has to be content. I gotta stop and make content. Like, I get it, girl.
Right. And she says, I fucking love places like this, but the vibe is certainly different when you're being chased down by a crazed superhuman corpse of a fabulous gay icon, a zombie who is apparently out there skinning people. And that is the sad reality.
Right.
And as she moves through, she manages to hide behind a vending machine, and Eddie goes into the lobby. And as that happens, Poppy smells the popcorn scent again.
No.
And she says, now that the scent's returned, a realization comes with it. The thought is so profound that despite my steadfast dedication to staying quiet, a faint gasp slips through my lips. My daughter's words poolside dance through my mind. It's called pheromones. They're so cute. The mental filing cabinet springs open, folders leaping out and reorganizing themselves as new information pours in. I consider the bizarre scent that seems to permeate Eddie's skin, but I also remember the lilting specks of neon pink dust that surrounded him like a cloud under an ultraviolet light. I recall Eddie's decision to leave the door open in the back room of Club Flamingo, a seemingly insignificant choice that suddenly means a lot more when you consider one thing: airflow. And then she thinks back to a nature documentary she watched with Marlo. In humans, pheromones are registered through our olfactory gland, a round mass of tissue located deep within our nasal passageways. Thinking
Girl.
far beyond
Girl.
what I could have come up with.
There are a lot of unbelievable parts of this book, and her, like, figuring this all out is one of the biggest ones, because, girl, not the fuck me. Like I said, this feels so, like, it's very cinematic, so, like, the pieces coming together, but her, like, maybe that's what it is. Like, I smell that every time. I'm seeing something supernatural. Like, you're looking at something that is completely supernatural up and down. The fact that he's alive, the fact that he has taken all this damage, he's still walking. But you're like, that pink shit and that popcorn smell has to be something. Those are the last things I'm thinking about.
Right.
I'm thinking about the fact that this man is still walking and breathing and talking. Like, I don't know how she got here, but good for her.
She is so deeply detail oriented. And
Yeah.
we did get, so her daughter mispronouncing pheromones happened in the scene, but I didn't have it in my notes. And I'm like, ugh, botched that, but sure.
No, it's okay. It connects everyone.
Right. With this new information, Poppy decides to plug her nose and wonders if it will be enough to avoid Eddie's powers. This is crazy. And like, it clicks that the guard, her nose was plugged from being so sick, so she couldn't smell his scent and get his pink dust. So she was immune to him. It'd be a great day to have a cold. I would have had a good winter
Right?
with Eddie Michaels, you know? I was sick every day. Real. And Poppy looks into the vending machine that she's hiding next to, trying to find anything to confuse her olfactory gland. And she looks and finds a small bottle of hot sauce, which
This
I
scene-
would not. My name's Poppy. Welcome to Jackass. No fucking
So
way.
bad. This is, again, a really descriptive moment, and it's like yucky.
Nasty. Yeah. So she takes a rock, busts the lock open to the vending machine, grabs the hot sauce, and and snorts it straight up. It almost makes her puke, but she can no longer smell the popcorn. And Eddie is approaching the vending machine area and calling for her.
There's a moment here that I really love, and I think it really bodes well to describing Poppy and, like, her how detail oriented she is. She's looking at this vending machine and she's like, it's one of those things that's made to look antique, but it isn't. But she's like, I know things that look antique, but it isn't. And this is one of those that's actually antique. So she's able to like process all of this, and I think that's like a lot of who she is. Like, I'm still shocked that she's piecing all this stuff together, but it seems like her like frame of thought is always like this deeply detailed, always very observant. She's like always like thinking of these things. So it doesn't shock me at this point, but it's really nice to see that like woven in as all of this is happening, because we don't get to know her really well before everything hits the fan. So I thought that was really nice.
Agreed. And getting her inner monologue from that first moment of her talking about how calculated she is with even the clothing she wears and the wigs she changes and the fake glasses and the toe tag switch and all these little pieces. Like, she is that bitch. She is that detail oriented in her everyday life. And I wish. I'm detail oriented in the bad way, in the paralyzing way.
In the neurotic way. Yeah, no, I think that really, again, highlights Chuck's writing chops here, because he does that so well. And like I said, it's so woven in there seamlessly. Whereas like, the second read through, I was like, man, that really does highlight Poppy and who she is and how she's kind of able to get through this book.
Yeah. So as Eddie approaches, he asks her to come out, but her body allows her to stay in place. And when she doesn't come out, Eddie shuffles off in the other direction. She slowly comes out from behind the vending machine, checking for signs of anyone around her. And she makes it to the parking lot and hides behind a car. And she's kind of looking around, and the front desk clerk's now out there. And he spots her and screams. And this is a terrifying visual of him just like full screaming, because you know Eddie's like, watch for her and alert me. But him just like,
and like, it's probably like supernatural and creepy, or his like mouth is wide open. Like, that's why I'm mad. He's like standing there like, ah!
Yeah,
literally.
Yes.
Oh,
terrifying.
My God.
Nightmare. When she hears this, Poppy fucking books it, as she should. And Eddie yells for her to stop. And he's running towards her and gaining on her because he's super fast. This man is a freak. And I hate it. Yeah. And she makes it to the pool area where the gate's been propped open with a rock, lets herself in, kicks the rock, and shuts the gate behind her. And there's people in the hot tub that ask Poppy what all the screaming was about. And she replies in the most normal way, which is by screaming, "Plug your fucking noses!" Which I would be like, who is this crazy bitch? I would have died in this hot tub.
Literally, I'm in the Trixie Motel hot tub, kikiing off of the fucking French 75, kicking my feet up, about to get killed.
And behind her, after she screams that, the gate is torn off its hinges, and Eddie commands them all to slit their throats with a bottle of beer in their hand. No glass in the hot tub. We know
why was
this.
there glass there?
Yeah. And Poppy is running, doesn't look back, but hears the glass breaking immediately. In all those little moments where we don't see but we hear, like, I don't think I've ever read a book that so successfully does audio cues as her against the wall in the room and things like that. I think that's so brilliantly used in this book. Poppy makes it to the other side of the pool and goes out the opposite gate, and she throws a rock at a car, causing the alarm to go off. And she hides in the spa's supply area and realizes that she can break a window and slither into the actual spa itself. And she does this as Eddie's investigating the car alarm. She's a well-planned diva, you know?
Yeah.
The car alarm outside stops, and she is holed up in the spa, lighting a candle to take wax and soften it and shove it as far up her nose as she possibly can. This hurt my sinuses.
Yeah. Oh my God,
hear
the
this.
pain.
It's so, there's so many things in this that are so visceral, and that's one of them. And because she even acknowledges in her inner monologue that she's going to need a doctor to remove that when it is time.
Yeah.
Like that, she is not getting that out of her nose. And after she finishes this, someone yells, "Stop right there," from outside. And she looks out a window, and there's 3 police cars and 6 officers. And they tell Eddie to put his hands up. Poppy describes him in this moment as a flamboyant mixture of sequins and shredded flesh, which is...
What the fuck?
Him being in sequins this whole time really adds something.
neon glow, sequins catching the light, just completely mangled. Oh my god, like this, the creature that he
Crazy.
is. Spook.
Creature.
Okay.
And Eddie slowly puts his hands up and starts to sing, and Poppy's terrified, knowing what could possibly happen. And he sings, I want you to blow your fucking brains out. And each officer complies all at the same exact time. So she just watched 6 people die.
Instantaneously.
Well, he was singing.
Yeah, so it feels like there's some sort of, like, charge power, because he was singing in the beginning. Like, there's some sort of charge to make this happen. I don't know. Do you
think it's charge, or do you think it's just theatrics? Right.
There might be...
He's like, I'm entertaining, bitches.
Right. Yeah, because there is such a sport in this for him with the killing. Some of it is so, like, fucking hang yourself after you do this, which is crazy.
Right.
But, like, this is theatrics, and he knows he has complete power over, like, all of these people, which is crazy amounts of power for, like, this level of control. Like, you usually see this, and it's like, I can control someone's actions for a little bit. Like, even in the interview with the vampire, they can only hold these people's minds for a certain amount of time. Like, there's limits to things, which we'll see his limits. But yeah, this is really shocking. And again, one of those things that I think it would bode well to be on the screen, because it's a crazy moment. The stress of this whole scene, this whole chapter, and then it climaxing to that point. Nightmare.
Back to you saying the thing about the screen. I think that is such a testament to Chuck's writing being so visual and so graphic, because I don't read a lot of books where I'm like, that would make a great movie. I'm like, yeah, that could be a movie, but there is something about the way Chuck writes that is so visual, so compelling, so striking. Because
that's
like
a great
we said,
word. Yeah.
Like we want character art to envision these things, and we want, all this builder in this world. Right. I have never had an issue completely visualizing every single thing in these books.
And it's immersive.
That is a testament to his writing.
Yeah,
so
it's
immersive.
Completely immersive. And I think that's like, you hear immersive in like the fantasy realm, and there's fantasy elements to this, but not in the way that I think people are used to. So like being thrown into this, I was driving and I was thrown back. I've already read this. I was thrown back into this. The hot sauce scene is what like got me when I was driving. Like the power that your words have, and like the pacing. I think a lot of it has to do with the pacing too. You get these books that are this short, so things are happening fast and in a few hundred pages.
When I picked that up at the bookstore the other day, I was like, this is so small.
Yeah, and so much happens. Like it's
is it 200 pages or like 216? Like, I think my arc was
like 220, 221, 222.
Yeah, like not a lot.
230.
Like he gets so much done so fast.
So much done. Yeah, and that's really just, I mean, a huge reason why we like Chuck's writing, and just the feeling you get when you read these books is just so intense.
Mm-hmm. That is how Chapter 8 ends, in the most jarring way. And Chapter 9 starts with Poppy just throwing her hand over her mouth in horror, because what can you even do? And she wants to run. She wants to run all the way home and go find Marlowe. She says, there's no time to stop and consider the existential weight of all this death. I should be sobbing and screaming and moaning under the weight of all the violent things I've witnessed. I should be retching up all the food in my stomach as I crawl under a table and curl up in a ball. There's a hint of those emotions, I admit it, but something else has painted a thick, shimmering varnish over my heart, gradually hardening it into a shell.
Ooh.
The trauma? Are you completely fucking numb from witnessing this?
Maybe, girl.
Crazy. She is so good at like tapping into her lizard brain and making it do what she needs it to do, too.
Right.
So this is another one of those moments. She turns around and heads deeper into the spa, trying to plan her next move, and she finds a computer in a back room. Backrooms. Although
back rooms.
That's the Alyssa Edwards backrooms call. Brain rot.
Rotted.
Although she gets excited at first that she sees the computer, she doesn't even know who she could contact to tell about all these things and thinks to herself, like, if I call the police, they're going to think I'm having a psychotic break.
Yeah, they're going to put me away.
Yeah, 100%. And she decides the only way out is on her own, which is fair, and Googles Palm Springs self-inflicted skinned bodies. For sale baby shoes never worn. The first link reads, 4 skinned bodies discovered, but the headline isn't recent. It's from Vero Beach, Florida. And being the super fan she is, she immediately remembers that Eddie is from Vero Beach. She's so smart. This article is a retelling of 4 bodies being found in the late 70s. And it says, according to this page, 4 bodies were found in the basement of a vacant property belonging to game show host Benny Walker. He'd passed away just 1 day prior. A group of teenagers partying in the abandoned structure. It had been abandoned for 1 day. That's crazy. Right. A group of teenagers partying in the abandoned structure came across the remains and reported them to police, quickly garnering national headlines. But the story really caught fire when the autopsies revealed the wounds were self-inflicted.
Yeah, feels like true crimey. All this stuff is so, like, this piece of it, I was like, she's putting it together.
Right. So she goes back to the search page to see what else she can find. And there's honestly kind of a lot of results that pop up about self-inflicted flaying, all in groups of 4. She clicks link after link, reading about bodies found like this. Again, all groups of 4. So she's like, these have to be related, especially to this man who has kidnapped me and is looking for 4 bodies. Mm-hmm. And as she's reading, the entire room goes black. The computer shuts off. And in this darkness, Poppy realizes that her body, like, this is like getting put in sensory deprivation. She realizes that her body is vibrating with the chaos of the night. Her heart is racing. Her skin is Chuck tingling. And she becomes aware that she's been holding her breath this whole time. Like, I know, as a fellow girly with a brain like mine, like, we've been here. We've been at a fucking birthday party like this. Like,
realizing that I am having a panic attack.
Right. Like, girl, unclench your jaw. Like,
real. Clench your jaw is crazy. Oh. Get me tonight.
So there's a loud crash out in the lobby, and she quickly gets up from the computer and tries to find her way out of this pitch black room. And she finally finds the door, opens it, and sees a glowing exit sign and just heads that way because her only go is get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So she says, all I care about right now is putting distance between Eddie and me. Sure, he's faster, but if I can get around this corner, maybe I can disappear into the night. The further I get, the more ways I can find to make my trail go cold. One step after another, surviving, adapting. After that, freedom. I can already feel Marlowe's arms wrapping around me. She just wants to get home to her kid.
Yeah.
So she's 5 yards away from the corner, and Eddie steps out from behind it. Ill. That's Michael Myers shit, you know?
It is.
Just
Spook.
Is me.
Hey.
And when she turns, the front desk clerk is waiting for her in the other direction. So she is cornered at the corner. And Eddie yells, stop! And surprisingly, she does. And in this moment, I'm like, no! Huh? And he tells her that he's surprised that she even thought of the nose plug thing. And tells her that she's clever. And she thinks to herself, I keep thinking that Eddie's about to explain my whole plan back to me with a knowing smirk and reveal that he can sense when someone's faking their commands. I'm ready for Eddie to call me a liar. Her heart has to be going crazy in this moment.
In my butt.
Yeah.
I would be like, she just cannot get away.
Eddie notices that her eyes are red and makes her empty her pockets, and he takes the bottle of hot sauce and throws it into the bushes. And he tells her that the hot sauce thing won't keep him out for long, or the 80s would have been rough, which is a Coke joke that really landed for me. That made me cackle. So he tells her that she can move now and asks that she follows him. And she says, I trail behind. not because I'm compelled to, but because for the first time tonight, I'm actually one step ahead.
Yes,
and I am
girl
just
boss.
rooting for our girl Poppy.
Girl boss. Gatekeep your brain. Sorry.
Yeah. Gatekeep the olfactory gland. So, in the book, we get this little time jump indicated by 3 stars. Visual that however you would like to. But it cuts, and Eddie and Poppy are just sitting down and talking, and they're on the deck of the hotel patio bar, and he's just sipping a Mai Tai. And he admits, this is so jarring. Like, this hit, and I'm like, what?
Oh.
And Eddie admits that he's torn because Poppy has really fucked some things up, but the level of entertainment she's bringing is just absolutely superb, which gotta respect it.
Yeah.
And they're just sitting there as Poppy looks around and sees all these bodies that are strewn across the deck from earlier, and he's trying to decide what the next step is here. And he says, tonight's a mess, but it's a fun mess, right, sport? And Poppy says, no, it is not fun. And Eddie ignores it, and he just kind of plays with his straw. Again, Alyssa Edwards trying to find her fucking straw in her drink. And says, you've got to consider, is a whole motel disappearing overnight stranger than 6 cops shooting themselves in the head? Plus, we've got these swimmers cutting their throats. I mean, it's a bananas crime scene. And Poppy says, you don't seem worried about it. And Eddie shrugs, you'd be amazed what a man with my talents can get away with. So he implies here that he could disappear this entire motel.
Yes. Guys.
And I have not read the whole book, so I don't know if that comes into play or not, but that's terrifying.
I'm not saying anything.
Don't say anything. So as they're just sitting there chatting, trying to map out the rest of the evening, the front desk clerk comes back to make sure that Eddie's drink is okay. And Eddie confirms it. He also says, like, I can't believe you're not a real bartender. This is delicious. And then sends him back to erase the security tapes from the entire day and make sure all the fingerprints are cleaned up. And the clerk also says that he's taking care of any witnesses because he reminds me of the toy soldiers from, like, Santa Claus 3.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Bernard on the mind, you know?
Too hot off the mind.
Eddie sends him off by asking him to shove a fork in each eye and drown himself in the pool. And he draws this out, but he complies. And Poppy is absolutely horrified once again because she does not have any of Eddie's powers over her. She is just in the trenches trying to act like this shit is normal, which is terrifying. Eddie tells her, you won't care about this and you won't try to escape. And she's trying to compartmentalize, and she just cannot unsee the horrors in front of her. And Eddie waxes on about wanting to make something memorable and tells Poppy that it isn't in his nature to play it low-key, but corrects himself to say it isn't in our nature.
What does that mean?
We have kinship happening, and it's scary. And Poppy takes this moment to ask if they're the same person, and he says, the old split personality trope, an unreliable narrator doing battle against the manifestation of her own subconscious? And he's like, no, but we are very similar.
Drags. That and the delivery on this was incredible. Okay, so Maura Wilson is the narrator for this. She is best known as Matilda. Way back in the day, but she narrates a fuck ton of books, has narrated, I think, all of Chuck Tingle's books.
Are you talking about, like, 90s Matilda?
Yes. Wait, you didn't know that?
No.
Oh, so she narrates. She's a book narrator. So she narrates the book, and she narrated Lucky Days well. I went down like a whole thing, and she narrates a fuck ton of audiobooks. That's like her gig now.
Oh my God.
And yeah, so there's like, she delivers this in a fantastic way. I love this audio. And
Very much agree.
I loved Lucky Day too. There's something about having a good narrator too that makes a book. As audio listeners, it's like huge for us. We've talked about this before, but she really delivers.
I read Lucky Day.
Oh, you did? Listen to it. It's good. She obviously narrates it.
Yeah, I got the physical. Eddie admits to Poppy that, you know, they are not the same person, but they are very similar. And he slurs a little, and Poppy is thinking to herself, like, if he's drunk off that one Mai Tai, which a drunk zombie is really something my brain has never processed in my entire life. And Eddie says, I mean, it seems we've got a few things in common. I wouldn't compare what I do to being, influencer, the disdain. But yeah, you've got a lot to be proud of. In her internal monologue, Poppy says, fame is a funny thing. We all have those we look up to, larger-than-life celebrities who guide us along like lighthouses in a raging storm. Their art is there for us when no one else is. And this is so relatable because we are such fucking fangirls. Like, this quote hit.
Their art is there for us.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it raises us, and then one day we learn something terrible. We learn these people we admire are not at all who they seem to be, and suddenly we're left with this strange hollowness. Their artwork changes, mutating into some brand new experience, whether we want it to or not.
Real.
Right. Just the foundations of who she are being rocked completely to the core.
Oh, yeah.
Even with Poppy acknowledging that Eddie is not who she thought he was, she hears, you've got a lot to be proud of, echoing in her head, and it hits her right in the fucking chest. And she knows that she shouldn't care that Eddie Michaels gave her a compliment, but she's even desperate not to care, but she very much does.
Listen, if zombie Beyonce, who was kidnapping me, told me that she was proud of me...
Yeah. Yeah.
Psychosis.
Yeah. Yes. Even with that, Poppy thanks him because she truly can't move on from this little compliment. And then he sets 2 sets of keys on the table, and one is for the front desk guy's Toyota Yaris, and the other is for a Porsche. And he leaves it up to Poppy to choose if she wants to keep it under the radar or if she wants to entertain. And our diva shows out, so she picks the Porsche. And they get up to leave, and she sees that in one of Eddie's bullet holes, there's something that appears to be moving inside of him.
Guys.
And no retelling of this can, like, I listened to this back like 4 or 5 times, and I was like, I can't explain how visceral this is. We're just going to, like, put it in plain, and you got to read the book.
Read it.
Read it. And he straightens his suit and continues to walk to the car, but not before Poppy grabs a steak knife, shoves it in her pocket, and luckily Eddie does not notice. So our girl is getting a weapon, and she is waxed up. Yeah.
I feel like a steak knife is really not reliable.
No, and it's in her pocket in a way that I'm like, this has to be this big. It's like the Applebee's steak knife. It's not like the steakhouse steak knife, you know?
That's what I'm thinking. It's not even a thickie.
Right. So she would have been better off getting like a paring knife from behind the bar to cut the 100%. Fruit. Those things will slice you open for looking at them. So we get another little cutscene, and Poppy's in the car, and she's just pretending to be okay because Eddie is asking her to be. And she relates this skill to her ability as an influencer to kind of just like be happy and smile even when she doesn't want to. Which, comparing those two things feels a little crazy, but go off, diva. And she says, you must smile. You must act natural. You must fully commit. Tonight, I'm fighting for my life. Not generating scheduled content, but the skill set remains the same.
You know what? A hustler.
Hey, make it happen. And as they're driving, Eddie tells her to cheer up, and Poppy locks in. And Reelin' in the Years by Steely Dan is playing, which... them in the Porsche, in the like this again. Yeah. I can hear it, I can see it, the whole thing. And it just completely changes the vibe. The cheer up and then the Steely Dan's really something. And Eddie starts singing along and tapping his hand, and he apologizes for how heated things got at the motel, and he tells Poppy that it usually goes quicker than this. And he pulls out the paper list again. There's 10 names on it. The top 2 are crossed out. The third one has a line through it. And suddenly he screams, and Poppy almost drives into a ditch. And he says, I can feel it coming. We're late. And I'm like, what the fuck are we late for, my brother?
What do you mean?
Because I'm scared.
Stress.
And he immediately instructs Poppy to turn. And she says, here, and misses the turn. And she's worried because he should be commanding her to do things. So she's worried that he will notice that she disobeyed an order, but he doesn't seem to. And they turn down a desert road with nothing on either side and pull over. And Eddie tells Poppy that their night is coming to an end, and he's sad because he doesn't usually get this attached. He has her get out of the car, follows her and tells her to take 10 steps back and turn around. And she feels for the knife in her pocket to kind of like ground herself and remember her options. So she looks around and thinks to herself that this might be the last thing she ever sees. She always thought the last thing she would see would be Marlo. And she realizes how small the knife blade is and thinks to herself that this is going to be no match for Eddie. Like, what a hopeless little moment. Behind her, Eddie retches, and she thinks he's vomiting, but there's no splatter sound. And then he screams and mutters, well, fuck. And then he gets back in the car and tells her to do the same, and they need one more body, and they drive away. I really thought this was it for her.
Yeah, I was like,
this
well,
had me.
shit's happening.
We get into chapter 10, and their drive takes them to a date farm. And I have never given a single thought to how a fucking date grows. I gotta tell you.
Me either. No clue.
This is like finding out how pineapples grow. You're like, okay, sure, great, wow.
Out of a bush,
Like,
right?
It's like
Out of the ground.
Yeah. Fruit, baby. Fruit. They pull up, and again, another beautiful visual. Around them, there's massive date palms, a gravel road, and a house that serves as a massive gift shop and restaurant. And the owner of the farm actually lives there. And we find out that this is who Eddie is after. And Eddie has just lost all of his charisma, which is shocking because he's been such a bridge troll this whole time. He is not funny. He is not charming. He is just quiet and limping forward. And they approach a night guard, and Eddie tells the guard to open up the building and turn off the alarm. This guard doesn't have a gun, which Poppy notes because she was hoping to grab his gun once he was under the trance. And Eddie asks the guard where the owner, Mary, sleeps. The guard hands over the key, and Eddie sends him off to once again erase all the security footage and then requests that he kills himself. After this command, Poppy wonders if she can save the guard's life by making a move on Eddie now. But before she can do anything, she's like right behind him, and Eddie walks away. And this little stop-go cat-mouse situation through this chapter is so stressful. Poppy says in her internal monologue something that's very important to touch on, which is witnessing the complexity of all these lives, the strange individual quirks of each victim has changed me. I can feel the sentimentality creeping through my veins in a way I never expected. A body is a body, but all this biological matter doesn't exist in a vacuum. Whether I like it or not, there's a story behind every pile of flesh and blood and bone. And this is our diva that called dead bodies worm food.
Growth.
9
growth
chapters
in such
ago.
Little time, a lot
Growth
of growth.
and trauma, even. Like her little
Listen.
Grinch heart, like growing.
Her little influencer Grinch heart. Yeah, there's just so much separation. I think people do, but like, I mean, she's also has this level with the body snatching. Like, it's commentary on both. I would say this kind of place we have to put ourselves to do the things, and I think this is her taking a lens to it, unfortunately, through this process. But hey, we grow through what we go through what we grow through what we go through, whatever it is. Yeah.
Influencer vibes. Unclench your jaw.
Unclench your jaw, diva.
As they're walking, Eddie picks up a date harvesting knife. I did not Google what this looks like. We can all move on. And they enter Mary's house. And they get to her room. Eddie tells her to state her name to confirm it's her, and tells her to be still, calm, and happy. Who could have ever thought that bringing peace in that way could be so evil? Are you going to show it?
They're all frightening. Here's 3 options. All
That's
bad.
That's kind of what I pictured. Like a big, like a short machete.
That's what I was thinking. That's the vibe of the middle one. For our audio listeners, the other one of them is like very angular, and then the other one is like has like a trapezoid in it. Crazy energy happening over here.
Yeah, but it looks like a butter spreader, but lethal.
Yeah. That's the vibe.
Yeah, crazy. So Eddie says, "Today's been a disaster, but you made it pretty fun. You're a good kid." And he. Poppy says absolutely nothing. And he says, "The best I've had in 400 years, maybe? Anyway, I'll be right back. Don't move, Poppy. And she says, my blood runs cold. I gathered that our initial meeting was more planned than he'd been letting on, but knowing my name speaks to an awareness that runs much deeper. At the start of the night, Eddie checked my ID, my fake ID, the one that says Alice, and never mentioned it again. And now the truth hits me like a gut punch. He knows exactly who I am. I got goosies.
Shit. Fuck.
Terrifying.
Pooping myself. Like, you have to feel so helpless in this moment because, like, there so much was just divulged here. You've been the best I've had in 400 years. Like, there's some like familial shit thrown in. Like, what is happening? I'm sure she's just like survival mode right now, fight or flight. She's fighting.
Right.
Like, she has to do this. Like,
and one of her driving forces in this is she does not know. She does not know if this is intentional or what's going on. And this confirms it. Terrifying. Poppy decides that this is her moment to stab Eddie, and he turns his back, and she stabs him in the neck and, like, really sticks it in there and is pulling the knife around, trying to do as much damage as possible. But Eddie is too strong, too quick, and even though she has successfully stabbed him, he manages to get the knife from her. And Eddie does stagger forward, hit the wall, and he's struggling to stay upright. His neck is bleeding, and he tells Poppy he can't believe and trails off. And Poppy asks what he can't believe and asks if he can't believe that she knows what the fuck she's doing because she's that bitch. Okay, Diva. And he says again, I can't believe, and then he sings, you thought you could stab me.
like,
Gremlin.
Jokester. Literally, he's a little jokester, little jester. He is such a little
Crazy.
shit here. She takes this, she's like, I take a moment to, like, actually, like, she's trying to, like, reclaim some of this experience for herself. And she's like, what? You didn't think I could do this? Like, you didn't think that I was worth shit? Like, all of these elements. And he's
Right.
like, bitch.
I was one
You
step
tried.
ahead of you. And he's like, you fucking
Bitch.
wish you were.
You
Right.
thought.
Poppy's horrified and she's walking backwards, trips over the rug, and Eddie just tosses the knife back to her and asks if she wants another try at stabbing him. That's fucking terrifying.
That's
Want to try it
crazy.
again? Crazy.
Give it another try.
He shows her the gun wound from earlier as he's doing this. And as she looks back in it, she can see that there is something shiny and black in there that is still moving. And then, because we're going full body horror, he sticks his hand through the back of his head and out his eye socket to prove a point. He says the thing in the thing and goes, bodies, huh? Pretty fabulous, pretty gross. That got my ass.
There's our
That
title
got my
drop.
ass so hard.
Oh
It
my
was
god, so good.
But
'Cause
that
it's like
visual.
It's very Beetlejuice. It's very like The Mask.
Yes.
It's very like, bah,
Yes.
like the shock factor.
Fabulous, gross. Yes. And he's just
Betty.
doing something crazy. Like his hand is in
Right.
the back of his head, out his eye.
He's mocking her.
100%. And he takes the knife back from Poppy and handcuffs her to a nearby table. He asks her, what did you do? Stuff some wet tissue paper up there? Lodge some wax in your sinuses? Too close. Yeah. A knowing smirk crosses his face as he registers my subconscious tell. Wax, huh? It's going to be a bitch to get out, sport. You're lucky, though. Back in 1445, someone used cow shit after I lost them in a pasture. So we are now getting a timeline
Yeah.
of almost 600 years ago. And then he says something even more terrifying. Maybe your great, 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 great grandfather. Something like that.
What does
Side-eye
it mean?
Right. The call is coming from inside the house. And he tells her that she's going to have to feel the whole thing now because he can't use his powers on her and it could have been easy. And Poppy's mind is just swimming with all the information that she's been given. But she knows that even though she can try to assemble the puzzle, she doesn't have all the pieces yet. And she cannot connect these dots. And I gotta tell you, I couldn't either. There were a couple parts in here where I kept going back and I'm like, am I missing something? Poppy asks Eddie if this is their final stop and he confirms it. And she says, you're not going to give a big villain speech? You've won. I'm handcuffed. There's only one thing left to do. And you're just going to do it? Where's the showmanship? And Eddie just ignores her and keeps moving on, and she does the most badass thing she can do at this moment and just lets out a boo.
Love this.
Rage baiter. So good. And this immediately stops Eddie. And she tells him that villains give speeches to entertain. And Eddie says, I can't resist a captive audience. Of course he can't. Poppy asks him what he is, because she's only trying to bait him into this so she can make any sense of what the fuck is going on.
Details.
Which, respect. Poppy asks him what he is, and he says, not what, but he will answer the question Poppy is likely asking herself over and over and over again. Why me? I'm also asking myself this.
Same girl.
He then says it's one of the most classic twists out there. He asks her if she's seen The Marriage of Figaro, read Great Expectations, or Bleak House, because they all have the same twist. And as someone who read Great Expectations, I was like, I don't remember what that is. And Poppy says that she isn't familiar with any of them. And he groans and says, this generation, and asks her if she read Animorphs. Dead.
Real. Know that one.
When she says no, he finally asks her if she knows Star Wars. And Poppy thinks to herself, a classic, unavoidable line suddenly erupts in my skull like a brilliant, dazzling firework illuminating everything. I feel a jolt of electricity shoot down my spine, causing my body to sit just a little more upright. Eddie bites his lip, noticing the change, letting it simmer. He nods, giving it some time, and finally speaks the words aloud in plain English. I'm your dad, Poppy, he says.
The real horror of this fucking book.
Dun, dun, dun!
Poppy dad trauma, girl locked in. Welcome to the pod, sister.
If I ever meet my biological father or parent, what'd she say? If I ever meet my biological parents, I owe it all to them. Girl, be careful what you wish for.
Boom. Oh my God. The mic drop.
The mic drop. And we had to leave you with that cliffhanger. And I'm not much past that cliffhanger, so.
You're still riding it.
I am. My friend, are you ready to read the read?
I am. What a great ending. Let's get into it. I have a 3.5, maybe almost a 4-star review. I can't tell. By Boss Man Aries. Hell yeah. Boss Man Aries. This one's great. Chuck Tingle transports us into a terrifying, tumultuous trip of trepidation. Look at that alliteration. Pop my puss. A selling point of this story is the mixture of Driver meets Beetlejuice, and it's something even more. Tingle's dialogue is sharp and very self-aware, and doesn't come off as campy, which I disagree with that part. I think some of this is campy, and like I was just telling you, like we go through reviews and people kind of have like a gripe about the gimmick of it all, but like that's part of it, guys. Mm-hmm. Think of where it's set.
I also think that Eddie serves straight camp.
Yes, that's how he does
He's the campiest book character I may have ever interacted with.
But sure, we'll take it. I think the more so is the commentary that like it doesn't feel too cheesy. The monster is real and thought out as well as the responses by the FMC. The major asset to the story is the audiobook's narration by Mara Wilson. She does a male voice very well, while she's also doing the female voices. As a reader, you'll stay within the story because of the dramatic and skillful placement of tones used by Mara. I think the latter half of that is really true. Like I said earlier, I really like this narration, and I think it does help with the story. I mean, again, you'll read things at times that, like, I know this is a great book, but the listen was trash, or vice versa. You have something that is absolutely fire on audio. I really do think that the narration eats in this, and I'm glad we got to talk about it because I know we received it as an ARC first and before it was published. So.
And we were reading Amish.
What do you got?
I have a 2.5-star review from Jeff Bibick, created 5 days ago. I got to click on his profile picture if it'll let me. It won't. Anyway, 2.5 stars with the melting emoji. And it just says, this is my second Chuck Tingle book. I can confirm it is my last.
Well,
I'm very curious as to what he does like. Oh, I found this bitch. This man DNF Project Hail Mary, and he has failed the litmus test.
Get out, brother. I don't trust your opinion. Never did.
He gave Hidden Pictures 2 stars. He gave Bury Your Gaze 1.5 stars. With
Then why
no
did
words.
you go in for another one? Why did you go in for another one?
Well, and the fucked up part is he left that review 5 days ago, so he got an arc for an author he hates.
Maud Winters was talking to us about like people who will just go on NetGaily, request an arc, and just leave a 1-star review, and I believe it. I couldn't believe it at first because it feels like a lot of work for what to bring someone else down. But there are true haters out in this world. Maybe Chucky has some.
Yeah, it ain't
He writes
me.
gay shit too.
Chuck, I love you. Aaliyah loves you.
Chuck, thanks
Lit
for
and Loud
following
loves you.
us.
Oh yeah,
We got a
Chuck.
follow from Chuck today.
Chuck, if you want to come on the podcast, you have to tell me.
You have to tell me because I have to sleep at night, and I won't until then.
Chuck, if you want to come on the podcast, you let us know. We'd love to talk to you because I am scared of you and want to know how your brain works all at once. Thanks.
Same. Yeah. I need to dive deep into your ears and your brain.
Yeah. The Divas are
We
up.
did it. We're up. Come on the pod.
God.
Come
good
talk
for
to us about anything. All right. Well, until then.
Well, until then, we will see you at the library and we will see you at Book Fair at Bel Air on August 8th if you want to come deliver your hot takes to us.
yes, we'll be there. Oh my God, I'm so excited. We're getting so close. It's from today about
It's a month
little
out.
less than a month away. Yep. We have so
I'm
much
not
to
scared.
do.
You're scared. We'll see you divas at the craft market trying to get all this shit done.